Hello, everyone, and welcome to QuipScope.
QuipScope.
It's the show where we take a look at a game that has just come out, and we give you a quick scope.
Yes.
A quick and a quip. We give you a quip and a quick scope of it.
A quick whip.
Yeah, and tell you our thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, you've been playing a game that has been out on other platforms for a period of time.
Yes.
But has just come out on the PS4.
Well, it's about to come out. It's not out yet.
Oh, of course.
It comes out on the 25th, so we've had it early.
I thought this video was out around the time, but it's not. It's coming out before then.
The escargot is up on the 21st. The embargo, I should make that clear. I don't know why I went really, really weird for that word replacement. 21st of February is the embargo, which is today when you're watching this, probably. But it's not out until the 25th on PS4, Switch, and Xbox One. So the console ports of this game, as Peter said, it's been out on PC for a little while. And it's now going to be out on the consoles too. And I've been playing it on PlayStation 4.
It's 2 Point Hospital.
It is 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah.
Hey, you heard of that theme hospital?
I have.
What a theme.
Yeah.
And what a hospital.
God.
Did you ever play it much?
I played Theme Hospital a lot.
Okay.
I played it a little bit on... It was on PS1 as well as PC. I played it a little bit on PS1 at a friend's house. But then I ended up getting a copy of it for PC and I played it all the time. Doctor required in GP's office.
Now, I don't know if they've got the same voice actress back, but it's very similar sounding. Very similar. Obviously, this is the spiritual successor to Theme Hospital, being 2 Point Hospital, developed by ex-staff of Bullfrog and people who worked on the original game. In tone, it's extremely similar. I mean, I'm hesitant for this video really to take the form of some kind of a review, because obviously the game's been out for a while and people who are familiar with it may already be familiar with it. So as far as I'm aware, all the features are present that are in the PC version. It runs absolutely fine. Sometimes it can be a little finicky using the analog sticks to move things around the grid-based system when you're placing things, but it's all fairly intuitive, and I think there is a free place mode as well. So you don't have to obey the law of the grid.
Oh, that's good.
You can just stuff loads of items in rooms and stuff. The only time it got a little bit choppy for me was when you're on the world map. And you're looking at the various hospitals you can go to. But beyond that, it's fantastic. It's the same excellent game that was on Steam. Now, in terms of what you do in it, talking about the actual game now. You're charged with running a hospital and trying to cure people. And as you cure people, your reputation goes up. And as your reputation goes up, you can hire better staff. And you build rooms. Basically, it's like a portion of it is The Sims, but for hospitals. So what I do usually at the start of each sort of hospital that you take over, which has its own unique challenges and things you have to complete, goals you have to complete. I like to pause it. And it basically becomes The Sims as I create, like a waiting area, a reception desk. I create the GP, the psychiatrist, the pharmacy, and you want loads of GPs. Because people want to be diagnosed, and that's what they're waiting for. And what I also do is I have a little kiosk at the back of the hospital, a little news agents, where people can come and buy stuff, because I can't remember what kind of staff. It might be admin. Or assistants, I think is what they're called, and they are the same type of staff for both the reception and the news agents. The news agents is obviously way less important than the reception, but people have to go on break after a while because they get tired. And so when your receptionist goes on break, you need someone to take over reception, otherwise you're not going to have a good time.
So you close the kiosk.
So the kiosk gets closed. Nobody can buy Milky Ways anymore.
Oh no!
They've got to come over and answer the desk. And talk to people as they come in.
It is important, though, as you say.
It's very important.
So, you've got hiring and firing of staff as well, right? Is there handymen to like clean up and do maintenance? Is that back?
You have janitors,
Again, I'm reluctant to. I don't want to just compare it to Theme Hospital all the way through.
I mean, I think you should really, because I didn't play much Theme Hospital when I was growing up. I was familiar with it. Honestly, that opening cutscene freaked me out.
Yeah, it is a bit.
It scared me, and I didn't like it. So I didn't play a great deal of it. And of course, only having a PS1, The PS1 port was fine, but it wasn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't
brilliant.
as good as the computer version. Yeah.
So I didn't play. I liked the idea, but I didn't play much of it. So if you have any questions about how it compares to the original game, then feel free to ask them. But yes, janitors are in it.
Yeah.
It's very important that when you hire janitors, and this sort of gets across the sense of humor that's in this game, that they have the ability to bust ghosts. Because when people die in your hospital, they can turn into ghosts and leave ectoplasm around and also scare people and chase after them.
Well, that's new, but it's still kind of very much in keeping with that sense of humor.
Yeah, it is. So your janitors need to be able to suck the ghost up into a little vacuum cleaner and then tidy up the ectoplasm. And if you are a janitor who can't bust ghosts, then what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
God, worst hospital ever. I'm going to give you a 3-star review on Travelhospital.com.
Yeah. They also have this radio station that strikes me very much as sort of a GTA radio station,
right?
Where it's got different hosts who are different archetypes, and they're all basically on hospital radio, like 2-point radio, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
But there's lots of silly jokes in there about, and now it's back to 43 songs with no singing on it, and it just goes back to sort of the
instrumental music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They had that in another comparison here for a different game, The Movies by Lionhead. That all the way through, while you're just building a studio lot and stuff, had like a radio playing in the background with a host who would just talk in between songs. But yeah, that's always nice to keeps you entertained, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that I do want to know, if in terms of how it compares to Theme Hospital, is are there sort of random events that you can get, like there's been a bit of a pandemic, or there's been a bus crash, or like random events. I think there were some in Theme Hospital where a helicopter would land on the roof, for example, and you would have a sudden rush of like loads of patients.
So I haven't had a helicopter land on the roof, but it's similar, where it'll pop up and say, oh, there's been the infectious diseases hospital down the road has had to close its doors early or something. We would get a lot of reputation if we cured these people, and then you'd get a little challenge too, and then 10 people would walk in with pots on their heads,
right?
And you have to take them to the depotiner or whatever it is, and try and cure them. But what I like a lot is that you can really micromanage, which sounds negative, but you're able to change the name and the appearance of the staff that you have.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get attached to them if you like. I don't know really what purpose that serves in the long term, because you're usually playing within a hospital for maybe an hour, 2 hours. So I've done the first 2 hospitals up to 3 stars, which is the maximum amount.
Right.
And that's essentially just building the value of the hospital, getting a good reputation, curing lots of patients, making sure that the ghosts are busted, making sure that you are able to treat all the new diseases that occur and the demand that goes with that. So in the second one, I could expand the hospital out into empty lots in exchange for money. I had to take a loan initially, and then I was able to pay the loan back and expand out into these new lots, build a massive staff room to please everyone.
Yeah.
When you complete challenges, you get this sort of additional currency, special currency that you can use to unlock new items to place in the hospital, like better waiting room seats and so on.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I like
premium stuff, and that makes people happy. You have lots of different views of the hospital that you can have, so you can do top down, but you can also sort of change it to, I like to call it plant view.
Right.
And where you've got plants, there's sort of like a green aura around them, which I'm assuming is a good thing. So you want to have plants everywhere to keep people happy, because hospitals are depressing and sad.
They are.
And there's also where you can see who's staff and who are patients, who's sick, who's been waiting the longest. You can go into an individual room and see how many people are waiting and shuffle people around based on their needs and how likely they are to just go home or die in the hospital while waiting.
Right.
So there's a lot of depth to it that you don't need to pay attention to probably until later in the game.
Yeah.
But certainly that it seems like, I mean, there aren't that many hospital simulators out there.
No, there aren't.
For one that takes such a fun approach, this one it really seems to have thought of everything in terms of choosing what you want to do.
Well, it sounds like it's done exactly what I needed to do, which is, live up to the very, very high standards of the previous, not the previous game, but it's a spiritual successor of Theme Hospital. But also, break new ground. And as far as I remember, there weren't ghosts in Theme Hospital. That I don't think plants necessarily gave off an aura. I know you could put plants in your hospital, but I don't know whether they actually... I guess they probably did make a difference to like patient satisfaction. But in any case, it sounds like they've innovated, which is good. And certainly I know that a lot of or probably all of the illnesses are new. They've not like recycled any of those, which is good. I mean, I think it's very much something that people remember from Theme Hospital, like the big bloated head men or women, and like the slack tongue and stuff. So it's good in a way that it's set itself apart in that respect.
Yeah.
That's good. Because I didn't play this game when it first came out on PC, because I think I was hoping that it would eventually make its way to console. So I'm really excited to give it a go now.
And it's a really good port as well.
Yeah.
It's very competent and runs. And as far as I'm aware, it's the whole game. I haven't played it on PC, so this was my first experience playing it as well. And as you said, the humor has really come across from the original Theme Hospital. I like the different weird diseases they've come up with. Lightheadedness is just people have a light bulb for a head,
right?
Okay. And they go into a special clinic where it's unscrewed and then a new head is popped on.
Okay.
And there's the mock star disease where everyone's sort of dressed as Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And they need to go to the psychiatrist to be talked down, basically. So there's lots of really funny stuff in there. It's really well put together, and the PS4 port plays fantastically.
Good.
So that's a recommendation from me.
Yeah.
And it will be out, once more, I'll say it again, on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, including Game Pass, if you're interested, and PlayStation 4 on the 25th of February, so that's next week.
Brilliant.
There we go. That's what I've got to say about that.
Oh, well. Very excited to play it. We need to end with a quip, though.
We do. 2 Point Hospital. More like, what's the point hospital? More like all of the points hospital.
Whoa, slow down. That was a double. Baby. I mean, it was a double or a 2 point. A 2 point. 2 Point Hospital. More like 2 point. Not spittle, as in it's not sort of gross and disgusting. It's actually a really good thing.
Right, I was going to say 2 Point Hospital, more like 2 Point Help Spittle, because I'm talking so fast and enthusiastically about this game, I can't help but spit a bit.
Right. Yeah.
Help,
okay. Well, a bit
spittle.
Of both. Yeah. I think that's it.
We good with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.
Thank you.
And thank you to Dead Good Media for helping us out with the code.
Very much.
Cover this game.
Yeah.
See you all next time.
Yeah, we will.
Bye.
Bye.